All right. Hello, everybody. Happy, oh my gosh, what day is today? Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Happy day 12 of 31 days to a simpler menopause. Today we're going to get super practical. I'm going to be walking you through exactly how to build a balance plate that supports your hormones, your metabolism, and your weight loss goals. Because if you have ever struggled with energy crashes, with cravings, with feeling unsatisfied after meals, with eating in a way that you thought should lose weight and you're not losing weight, this is why. So I'll be sharing a graphic in the comments that you can save to your phone, so you always have a quick guide on what a balance plate looks like. So today we're going to cover what a balance plate looks like, how it supports hormones and weight loss, how it naturally helps to reduce calories without counting things and without feeling deprived, and that it even helps your body boost its own GLP-1, because that's where GLP-1s come from. Your body actually makes it. So a balanced plate is the right mix of macronutrients, right? We've talked about them: fiber, which is a carbohydrate, protein, so carbohydrates, protein, and healthy fat. So it's setting up your plate with a mix that your body needs for hormone balance, for energy, for satiety, for all the good things, for reducing your symptoms. So here's the breakdown. Are you ready? Okay. Here's your plate. It's going to be 40 to 50% non-starchy vegetables, fiber, vitamins, antioxidants, all that support your gut health and your digestion. Then 20 to 25% of your plate could be whole grains or starchy veggies. Or you could make 75% of your plate non-starchies. I flip back and forth between both. But whole grains, starchy veggies do not make you fat. They do not make you gain weight. They help fuel your metabolism, and they help with blood sugar stability. And then 20 to 25% of your plate is lean protein, whether you're doing plant-based protein like me, which I highly recommend, or you're doing animal proteins. It's essential for muscle maintenance, for hormone production, for satiety, right? But we all are talking so much about protein, but as I mentioned on the day I talked about protein, we don't need it to be half our plate to get enough protein. So then the last bit of it, because if you notice, I didn't add up, 5 to 10% of our plate is healthy fats. We've talked about that as well. This supports your brain health, reduces inflammation in your body, and helps to keep you full and satisfied. This combination is what works with your body instead of against it. So let's talk about that. How does it? If you're wondering why this works better than dieting and how it supports your body, here's the answers why. It balances your blood sugar and lowers your cravings. Protein, fiber, healthy fats, slow digestion, preventing sugar spikes and crashes. Less insulin resistance because of all this. And insulin resistance is something that comes up for us. We are more prone to it as we're going through menopause. And less insulin resistance equals better hormone balance and easier fat loss. And that's what everybody wants, right? It boosts your natural GLP-1, right? GLP-1 is the hormone in your body that helps you feel full, and your body produces it naturally. All the things I'm talking about here in these 31 days, all are helping to support your hormones, including this GLP-1. Balanced meals help increase GLP-1 production so that you feel satisfied for longer. Okay. Helps reduce your overall caloric intake naturally without counting or logging anything. When your meals are balanced in the way I have just talked about, when you are eating half your plate to 3/4 of your plate non-starchy vegetables, you naturally eat fewer calories without needing to count or log or weigh anything. And you feel full. You don't feel the need to overeat because your body is full. Do you know how much fiber fills up your tummy? It is amazing. It makes you feel so wonderfully full. So even though you're eating less calories because of the ratio on this plate, you do not feel like you have eaten less. And it supports your metabolism and helps with belly fat. Extreme calorie deficits actually work against your hormones. They can, work against your metabolism. It can cause it to be more sluggish, less efficient. And this way of eating keeps it performing at its highest. Why? One of the reasons is because you get all those good carbohydrates, and your thyroid loves carbohydrates. Your thyroid is a very important piece of your metabolism. And then, I already mentioned it. Balanced nutrition supports your thyroid, cortisol, and insulin, the hormones that drive weight loss in menopause. Okay. The best part, you don't have to track, you don't have to measure, you don't have to restrict. Just set your plates up this way. I mean, how easy is that? All right, so common mistakes I see most women making with it when it comes to setting up their plates. Okay, mistake number one. This one's not happening as much because there is so much talk about protein right now, but mistake number one I see is not enough protein. And I do see this a lot with a lot of women sometimes, and I mentioned this on protein day, but they're like, oh, I eat my protein at night. You got to eat your protein at all of your meals. A salad without a dedicated protein source is usually not going to fulfill you. And that's probably why you're going to find yourself reaching for snacks around 3 o'clock. Aim for 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. Not at one, not at just two of them, at all three of them. Mistake number two, this one I do see quite often, and this is not enough fiber in the form of vegetables and whole grains, right? Focus on half your plate being non-starchy veggies to support digestion and hormones. Now, as I mentioned on the day we talked about fiber, if you're not eating much, please increase it slowly so that you don't send your digestive system, your gut into overload when it's like, whoa, what are you doing to me? Okay. Mistake number three is too much fat. And this is if you're on certain diets or the wrong kinds, right? We talked about fat. We want to be focusing on unsaturated fats the majority of the time. And we want to keep fats to 5 to 10% of our plate. We don't need to eat a full avocado at each meal. Healthy fats are great, but too much can add unnecessary calories. Mistake number four is eating healthy, but still hungry. Now, the first thing I ask people to look at, if this is what they tell me, is first I ask what's on the balance of the plates, right? Are they eating protein, fiber, and healthy fats at every single meal? If that's the case, then I ask how many meals are there? If there's only one, well, of course you're still hungry. You're not eating enough. But if there's two, then the odds are, again, probably high that you're not getting enough calories throughout the day. You need to be feeding. We're going to be talking about hunger and fullness coming up here in just a couple days. But if you are restricting too much, doesn't matter how perfect the balance is of your plate, you're going to be craving and you're going to be starving all the time. And that's going to be creating an increase in cortisol in your body. Okay. So here's what I want you to look at. I want you to look at the graphic that I'm dropping into the comments here. I want you to take a look at your meals. If you haven't had dinner yet, use dinner as a perfect example. Where do they fall with fitting into this balance? Again, I've said it, most people, protein is half the plate, rice or some kind of carbohydrate might be 3/4 of the plate, and veggies have about this much. And I'm not saying you have to not have any of those other things. We just want to change the ratio on the plate. We want to increase the non-starchy vegetables. So where might yours be a little off balance? And I really want you to keep this in mind when it comes to breakfast. It's such an important meal. And maybe each meal you have to focus on different things, but what part of your plate do you think you need to adjust? Is it protein? Is it fiber? Is it fats? Right? Because this is a game changer and it's so easy. And I don't know about you, but I used to be able to tell you calories and everything. I haven't looked at calories now in years. And at this stage of my life, I have no interest in doing so. So if you want to get off that counting train, we are well on our way. We are 12 days to doing that. This is one of the most impactful ways you could do that. Now, we've talked a lot about food in the last few days, in this first week. And we talked about sleep. Yes, I think that was yesterday. Now, tomorrow we're going to talk about something equally important, which is stress. It doesn't matter how good your nutrition is, how perfectly balanced your plates are. If your stress is high, if you are not reducing your stress on a daily basis, your body will fight you. And I don't mean reducing it by like quitting your job or kicking out your husband. But you really have to be addressing cortisol. Can't lose weight without addressing it. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. So I'd love to hear. Tell me, fill me in. Where do you think the balances are for your plates? Let's hear it. All right. See you tomorrow.